Yeah, Shalom, Akiam, Salakia, man. Like it started to pour, pretty heavy, and so I decided to come in here and just finish, the rest of my topic about Esau, how he devoured our people, man. Okay, not just physically, but he stripped us away from our true identity, true nationality. Okay, and so as I was reading in this book, it says the Negro Question Part 4, The Missing Link by Lee Cummings, okay? I'm gonna show you, brothers. This was the book, that I was reading, and showing you that our people were ruling, okay, in the different parts of Europe prior to Esau coming in and stripping us away from everything that belonged to us, man. And I read that in the book of 2nd Ezra, okay, the 6th chapter, the beginning of the 54th verse, man. How that the earth was made for our sakes, etc., etc. Okay, but this was the part that I was reading before, it started to rain heavy. Not sure if you brothers could see, but this is in this book on page number 31, and I'll actually start from the beginning again. It reads, I don't want to speculate, but for some particular reason, some of the images show these Irish to be people of color. Okay? So the original Irish were people of color. And it says, what we are seeing is a deliberate attempt to conceal the blackness of these Irish and Scottish people. I am only interested in the color of these people for the sake of proving to you that these people are among us, and they think they came out of Africa. They came from Europe. Okay, so showing you that not every single person of color came out of Africa, man. But that's what the world wants you to believe. Because the first slaves were taken out of Portugal and Spain. Okay? Not from Africa or the western part of Africa, man. So showing you that our people are scattered everywhere. Okay, this is an image showing you that these Irish, okay, look at that, man. Look at those features. These are Jakes. These are Israelites. Okay, and I'm gonna read page 32. It says the black Irish that came into Jamaica had two places of origin, either Ireland or Barbados. Close to 300,000 black Irish came directly from Ireland, and the rest came from Barbados. So showing you that had nothing to do with Africa, man. Okay? 70% of all black slaves on the island of Barbados came from Ireland. That's a lot. And it says in the 1925 census of Jamaica there were 961,000 people on the island, and only 2% were white. This oversight on the part of the world historian to include these black Europeans in the North Atlantic slave discussion went unnoticed for the past 400 years. The invention of genetics plus the record of the eyewitness was the key to discover the missing link between history and genetics, man. Okay, there's more. Now going into pretty much physically, okay, how these Edomites have came into the different parts of Europe, okay, and tortured our people, okay, raped our women, okay, murdered our children. Okay, these are the records of Esau, Edom, in which they're trying to hide that name, but that name continues to come back, man, because that's your true identity. Okay, just like how we are coming back to our true identity, true nationality, according to the scriptures, that we are the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, Esau is getting exposed for who he is. And all his records are being brought to the table. And so over here, this is page 36. I'm going to show you an image prior to reading. Not sure if you guys can see that. Look at that. Okay. It says right here on page 36. It says, this is a scene from the destruction of Drogheda, Ireland, by the English in 1641. They stripped the people naked and drove them into the mountains to freeze to death, but not before uttering a strange statement about the English being wild men. Remember, the Irish were black in 1600s. Okay? The bottom picture says, the English impaled the Irish children and bashed their heads on stone. These are eyewitnessing accounts. So they took our children, right? They would literally grab them by both legs or one leg and bash their head, okay, into the stone. Guess what? The scripture says that we're going to do the same thing to you. Okay, let me get that, man. Okay. I believe that's in the book of Psalms. Happy shall he be. Psalms 137 verse 9. Found it. It says right here, Psalms chapter 137, I start from verse 7. It says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof, man. Okay, this is what they did to our children, man. Okay, so they were saying what? Destroy these people, raise it. Okay, this is what they did. Okay, so look at this. It says, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us, man. So guess what? What the scripture says, what we're going to do to you, is not a coincidence. It's because you have done the same thing to us, man. Okay, so it says, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Okay, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones, man. So what you did to our children, okay, when we were in Ireland, right here, this right here, we're gonna do the same shit to you in the kingdom, man. Because right here it says the English impaled the Irish children and dashed their heads on stones. These are eyewitnessing account, man. Okay, the book of Psalms. I'm gonna read it one more time. Chapter 37 verse 9. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone, man. You reap what you sow. Okay, Proverbs chapter 11 verse 31 says this. Proverbs chapter 11 verse 31. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more the wicked and the sinner, man. Okay, so the righteous shall be recompensed. Recompense what? It means payback. The scripture says what? That let me get it in the book of I believe 1st or 2nd Thessalonians. The book of 2nd Thessalonians, it says chapter 1 verse 6, seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High Yahweh Shemel Shai to recompense tribulation, to pay back tribulation to them that trouble you. This was troubling to us, man, what I've showed. what the white man has done to our children. And there's much more. But that was troubling. So guess what? We're going to do the same thing. It's a righteous thing with the Lord Yahweh Shah to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you, man. Okay? Let me go to the next one. Page 37. It says, the editorial from the generation shows that they spoke and wrote differently, but you can discern the writing. In modern English, it says they took hot tongues and tortured this woman to make her confess where her money was. Okay? So I'm not sure if you brothers can see, but you got two Edomites, right? And then you have a woman by a wall right there, man. If that's a wall, but they take hot tongues, they tortured her to confess where she put her money. And it says they burnt the bottom of her feet and the palm of her hands. It is important that you remember that these crimes are being done to black Irishmen, their women and children. Going backwards in history is like digging in walls and seeing what the people do in the imagination of their minds. So Esau, whatever he imagined, man, is what he did to our people. And even now, what you see with these Edomites and pedophilia and how, you know, they're getting exposed, etc., showing you that these people are actually an abomination to life, man. That's all they do is wickedness, man. Anything that they imagine, they do. Anything that's wicked, they do. Okay? And it goes on and it says, this is part of the history of Europe that the geneticist is missing, that would cause his finding in our generation to make sense. Remember, the Irish were black in 1600s. There is more. Here's more pictures. And I'm going to read this. You see this woman right here? That's a pregnant woman. Okay? And I'm going to read it. It says, the scribes say that this is great tyranny done to the Esar, his wife and children. If you take a look at this scene, they have ripped the child out of the black Irish man's wife's stomach and tossed it to the ground. These are eyewitnessing accounts of the actions of the English when they invaded Ireland. Okay? Here's more. And I'm going to read this one as well. It says, this black Irish woman is being roasted over coals of fire while she is being poked with a pitchfork. These were the actions of the English soldiers when they invaded Ireland. It has also been reported that Cromwell ordered the death of the priesthood. Now we know the reason why the English tortured the blacks from West Africa and Europe when they came into the slave colonies. Torture was a practice of theirs on the other side of the Atlantic. So their action in the Americas are consistent with their past behavior. So showing you that these people have actually been practicing these things forever, man. Okay? So this is the behavior of these Edomites. And the scriptures even tell you that, let me see if I can find it actually. Pretty much roughly paraphrasing, telling you that he cannot do right no matter what, man. Okay? It said, can the leopard change? In the book of Jeremiah chapter 13 verse 23. I'm gonna get it. It says, Jeremiah chapter 13 verse 23, can the Ethiopians change his skin, or the leopard his spot. Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil, man. Okay, so it's showing you that these Edomites were actually created to do evil, so they cannot do good at all, man. Okay, another scripture is in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 13. I wrote that down here. Let me get it. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 13. It says, "Consider the work of Yahweh Bashim Shai, for who can make that straight which hath made Salakia, which he hath made crooked." So let me read it again. Consider the work of Yahweh Bashim Shai, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? Esau is made crooked, so he cannot be made straight, because the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai ordered it that way, man. So these actions, like it says, that these are things that these Edomites have been practicing, right, for a while, is because it's actually in their nature to do these things, man. Okay? So let me go back and continue. It says, in fact, let me read again. Torture was a practice of theirs on the other side of the Atlantic. So their action in the Americas are consistent with their past behavior. In fact, they continue to practice torture even to this generation. They taser old men, women, and children on the streets of America. They choke, beat, and murder unarmed men and women on the streets of America. And to be honest about it, they don't care what color you are. Remember, the Irish were black in 1600s, man, because these Edomites, okay, they know who our people are. Okay, is you so-called Negroes, you so-called Latinos, you so-called Native American Indians, man. They treat all of us the exact same way. Okay, and I'm gonna continue. Page 34. As you can see that child right there. Right there. Okay. Page number 40. It says they killed the children by pitchfork and drowning. And then it says at the bottom, they forgot to paint this picture completely white. You can see where they painted this black Irish woman's right hand white, but forgot to paint the left hand of her face. Okay, so showing you, man, which is what iconoclasm. You know, when Esau came into rulership, okay, they painted the likeness of their images, which says in the book of Maccabees. I'm gonna get that. The book of 1 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images, man. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 15, verse 4. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 15, verse 4, it says, "For neither did the mischievous invention of man deceive us, nor an image spotted with diverse colors, the painter's fruitless labor." Okay? "The sight whereof enticed fools to lust after it, and so they desire to form a dead image that hath no breath. But they that make them, they that desire them, and they that worship them are lovers of evil things, and are worthy to have such things to trust upon." Verse 4, I'm going to read it again. "For neither did the mischievous inventions of man deceive us, nor an image spotted with diverse colors, the painter's fruitless labor," man. Okay? Because what? The truth is coming out. and even showing you that Esau has messed up along the way, man. He forgot to paint some of these images, man. Okay? But the scriptures itself, okay, has many records of showing you that the Hebrew Israelites, the men of the Lord, were people of color, man. Different shades of brown, etc. Okay? So, the mischievous invention, okay, it did not deceive us, man. Okay? It did not deceive us. Let me get some more. Some more, man, okay? Because it doesn't end. Esau's wickedness has reached unto heaven. Iniquity upon iniquity, man. Let me read this. It says right here, the scribes writes that 1 a.m. 7 Pope's servants broke into Mr. Atkins' house and beat his brains out and then raped his wife, who was pregnant with a child. It states that after they raped her, they took the unborn child and sacrificed it in the fire. In other scenes from this horrific event, you can see the English drowning the black child Irish children in rivers. It would be cruel and inhumane that after these people suffered such shame, death, and humiliation, that their story should go untold and that history should be ignorant of their former existence, man. Okay? So these are the records of Esau, man. They don't hold themselves guilty. The scripture says that, man. Let me get that. Whose possessors slay them. Khan. Zechariah chapter 11 verse 5. Let me get that. Zechariah chapter 11 verse 5. Beautiful. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherd pity them not, man. Okay, so Esau does all of these wicked acts upon our people, but they hold themselves not guilty. Okay, in the book of Psalms, man, it says what? That these people have done so much wickedness that they even think that the Lord is actually working with them. Like as in the Lord agrees with it. And this is the book of Psalms. The book of Psalms chapter 50, I'll start from verse 21. It says, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Okay, the Lord said what? That these things has these Edomites done, but he kept silent. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee, and set them in order before thine eyes. Okay, so these Edomites, like it said what in the book of Zechariah that I just read, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And then they go on and say what? That for I am rich. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. But they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, man. Okay, so they're looking at it like, whoa, you know, like we're ruling the world, we're putting hell on these people, and you know, there's nothing happening to us, you know, like we're just receiving riches, etc., etc. But they don't understand that the Lord Yahweh Shema is long suffering, man, and that the Lord kept silent. And ultimately, okay, we went through what we went through because the Lord is disciplining us, man. Because we disobeyed him. Not because the white man has done anything special. The Lord gives the kingdom to whomsoever he will, like it says in the book of Daniel, man. So the white man actually, he was actually put in that role just to put hell on us. But the Lord's going to turn around and put hell on him and then exterminate him, man. Okay? So, Psalm chapter 50, verse 21 again. These things hast thou done, and I kept silent. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee, and set them in order before thine eyes, man. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6, verse 4 is a precept. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6, verse 4. It says, because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be upon them that be in high places. For mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. For he which is Lord over all shall fear no man's persons, neither shall he attend in awe of any man's greatness. For he hath made the small and the great, and careth for all alike. Okay? Let me read verse 1 to give you more understanding of who is talking to, or who is talking about. Hear therefore, O ye king, and understand. Learn, ye that be judges of the end of the earth. What does the scripture say? That the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay? Verse 2, give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory to the multitude of nations. For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest. Who shall try your works, and search out your counsel? Talking to these Edomites and these different heathen nations, man. Okay. Hear, O ye. Okay, it says what? Hear therefore, O ye kings, understand, learn, ye that be judges of the earth. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. As well as this, it says in the book of Maccabees, chapter 2, 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 10. It says, what nation, or actually, let me read from verse 6. Verse 10 is the point. Verse 6, it says, and when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see the misery of my people, and of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of the strangers. Okay? Her temple is become as a man without glory. Her glory vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants, talking about who? The children of Israel. Her infants are slain in the streets. Her young men with the sword of the enemy. What nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? So what nation did not torment us? What nation did not put hell upon us, man? All of these nations have. And it goes on and it says, all her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman she became a bond slave. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it. To what end therefore shall we live any longer, man? Okay? So all these nations have had a hand in the downfall of our people. Okay? Psalms chapter 83. Let me get that. Or 82. One of them. Psalms 83. Verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, man. Okay? They came together to conspire against us. To make an agreement. on what they should do to the children of Israel. For lo, thine enemy make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the hand. Okay, the head. They that hate thee have lifted up the head. Okay. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, man. That's what their goal was, man. But guess what? The Lord Yahweh Shemashah said that what? In these last days, he was going to reveal our true identity and give it back to us, man. Okay? And it says, verse 5, they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Now it lists who it is. The tabernacles of Edom, okay? The white man, first and foremost. The Ishmaelites, the of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, man. Okay, these Arabs, these Africans, like the original Africans, man. Okay, the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, and so on, man. Okay, the East Indians. Okay, all of them, they hate us. They came against us, okay, to conspire and to pretty much take the name of Israel out of remembrance, man. So guess what's going to happen to all these nations? What do you think is going to happen to all these nations? It tells you right here in the book of Isaiah or Jeremiah. Actually, let me read Jeremiah 17:4 first. It says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger which shall burn forever, man. So showing you that our people were going to go into slavery and so on, and we're going to lose our identity, man. Okay, as Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 16, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured. Plain and simple. All of these heathen nations that have devoured us, they're going to be devoured, man. Thus saith the scriptures. That's saith Yahweh Shemashah. And all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. Captivity is slavery. So all of these heathen nations are going to go into slavery, every single one of them. And they that spoil thee, okay, they took all of our goods, shall be a spoil. So we're going to take everything that belonged to us back. And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey, man. Okay? So all the curses that's spoken in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 from verse 15 and down, it's all going to befall upon these heathen nations, man, beginning with these Edomites, okay? The so-called white man. So it's a beautiful time that we're living in. Okay, these are the end of our slavery, or these are, this is the end of our oppression, man. Yahweh Shemashah is going to come back to save his people just like how he did in the time of Egypt, man, when Pharaoh would not let us go. Guess who the modern day Pharaoh is? The so-called white man. Okay? Everything that we do, everything that we built, he, pretty much destroys, because he doesn't want us to have our own. He doesn't want us to be independent. He wants us to go to him for all things, which is actually a part of the curses, okay? But in actuality, he doesn't want to let us go. So guess what? Yahweh Bashib Yahushai is going to let us go, man. Okay? And so that's the time that we're living in, man, okay? But I hope, that this video was edifying, okay? And that I was able to go into depth, okay, about Esau's wickedness, etc. And there's more, okay? So Lord Yahweh Shemashah Rat us that next time. And then, I'm able to bring us some more edification, okay? And with that, Call Hala Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakhakudash, that will answer the apostles, and that was our millstone. Peace and mercy, salutations to you, Akim, man. Next time, Shalom, Akim.